played wash. Now, here they were, floating lazily past picturesque landscapes straight out of a merchant ivory film. Gavin had even brought a picnic basket, one of the old-fashioned ones made of wicker, with flaps that opened upwards on either side. It was now nestled against Amber's legs, next to her ever-present burgundy backpack, her codex staff tucked through the sturdy top loop so that it stood nearly upright like a flagpole. "So, how do you like the con?" Gavin said, dipping the pole into the river to propel them a few more feet downstream. "It's nice," Amber replied. "It's really nice after how nutso Comic-Con has gotten the last couple of years." Gavin nearly dropped the pole. "You've been to Comic-Con?" His tone oozed pure envy. Amber hid a grin of her own, pleased to have something, even an experience, that could impress her date. "Yep, 24 years. Every year since I was born. My dad is a big geek and dressed up as Kawato from Total Recall." Gavin looked blank. "You know," Amber said. "The mind-reading parasitic baby growing out of the guy's stomach? I was the parasitic baby." "Okay, yeah." Gavin gave a nod of recognition. "Wicked. I wish my dad was even half as cool." Amber thought of the times her dad had picked her up from school in his ancient VW bus covered in Star Trek bumper stickers, including "I find your lack of logic disturbing," Captain Picard for president, and more recently, Kirk Spock, 2016. She didn't make any friends with her Starfleet Academy computer bag either. The cool kids hadn't been impressed with the popularity of the Big Bang Theory. She gave a rueful smile and shook her head. "No, you really don't." He nodded and fell silent for a bit, attention devoted to navigating the punt around a bend in the river. Amber didn't know if she was relieved or disappointed he didn't ask her to elaborate. On one hand, she was happy not to talk about life as an excruciatingly shy middle child in the midst of a chaotic and loud family, with a bubbly older sister and an up-and-coming jock younger brother. On the other hand, she'd noticed guys, as a general rule, weren't interested in anything personal, unless it was about them. "Maybe it's just because you're boring," she told herself, giving her skirt another self-conscious tug. She looked up in time to see Gavin's gaze directed towards her bare thighs again, skittering away when he saw that she'd noticed. She lowered her head, hiding a smile. "Okay, maybe not so boring." The punt hit something in the water, sending Gavin tumbling forward. The pole dropped into the river as he sprawled across the seats, face down, his head on the bench next to Amber. "Oh my God, are you okay?" Amber stared down at the back of Gavin's head as he groaned and pushed himself slowly to a sitting position on the seat in front of hers, legs straddling the cushioned bench. A small but steady trickle of blood ran from a gash on his forehead. "Ouch," he said simply. "Hold still," Amber said. Searching in the picnic hamper, she extracted a white linen napkin and gently pressed it against the injury to staunch the bleeding. Gavin groaned, and she looked at him in concern. "Is that too hard?" He shook his head, wincing as he did so. "No. It's just my sister's going to kill me for mucking up one of her good napkins." "Oh, geez, I'm sorry." Amber started to snatch the napkin away, but Gavin quickly grabbed her hand, holding it and the cloth against his forehead. "It's too late for it now," he said sadly. "I'm done for. So I might as well enjoy the moment, don't you think? My last sight on Earth shall be that of the beautiful Codex tending my wounds." Amber laughed, the sound soft and low. Her dad called it stealth laughter. Gavin's hazel eyes darkened as he reached out with his free hand and touched Amber lightly on one cheek. Amber held her breath as he traced a quick line down the side of her face, his touch sending a pleasant shiver down her spine. Most of the kisses in her past had been the ones planted on her forehead by her parents, and a memorable in all the wrong ways makeout session with Danny Lizard Tongue Metcalf at his senior prom. The first didn't count, and she preferred not to think about the second, which had ended badly. She'd pretty much ignored future dating opportunities and immersed herself in the 3 C's: college, career, and cosplay. Now, she thought she might be ready to expand her horizons. Gavin leaned towards her then, still holding her hand and the napkin against his forehead. She didn't know how to react, and was afraid if she tried to say anything, it would come out as an inappropriate giggle. So, she held perfectly still and waited to see what would happen next.